Gonna do a little bit of a one-shot backstory type thing for a new game that I'm running, which is in Savage Worlds Deadlands. It focuses obviously in the Weird West, uh, and I'm going to give a little bit of a detail about this one-shot, which sets up the backstory for these characters and sort of how they met. They've had encounters before, kind of heard of each other, but this is where they get to know each other, and then they kind of go their separate ways until they meet again. So things can happen in between then and now. So, it is called Devil's Night. Dr. Herbert Langston knew something about ore. In the steel mills of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, he created a machine that could extract ghost rock from even the crudest raw materials. The machine he called the Reducer worked well for almost 2 weeks, but on the 13th day it suffered a spectacular and catastrophic explosion that killed 17 workers and maimed dozens more. Langston gathered the only other thing he had ever cared about, his daughter Daphne, and fled town. The pair didn't stop running until they reached Wichita. This is in Kansas. With the last of their savings, he bought an old house in a junkyard that used to belong to the Black River Railroad. There, Langston began to rebuild the Reducer. In weeks, he had a prototype and caught the attention of representatives from Dixie Rails. One of their most esteemed scientists promised to visit and evaluate the machine, and Langston offered him a hefty sum for the design. Perhaps he would even offer Langston a chance to orchestrate the building of multiple reducers across the Confederacy. The morning of the visit, Langston rose, ate a hearty breakfast, and walked outside, eager for the arrival of the representative from Dixie Rails. Instead, he found his house and the giant reducer in his backyard had been vandalized by the local children. It was a disaster. Crude insults about the carpetbagger and his daughter were painted on the side of the reducer and even his house. Rotten vegetables, spoiled fruit, and smashed eggs were everywhere. Langston began to scream and go into a rage. Daphne attempted to confront him, but the mad scientist slapped her in his blind anger. Langston's horror at his own reaction only worsened when he saw the Dixie Rails carriage had arrived. His guest had witnessed the entire event, Langston's rage, the humiliation at the hands of the local children, and striking his own daughter. The creation he always believed he had gotten right. The representative sighed, shook his head, and left. Shortly after, Daphne left as well. Langston silently packed her bags, put her on a train, and watched her steam off to her aunt in Pittsburgh. Langston went back to his lonely home. This wasn't his fault. The voices in his head whispered. It was those rotten children, the ones who destroyed his dreams on Devil's Night. Langston wanted revenge. Science had betrayed him, but the old house he had purchased once belonged to someone named Cooper Watley. Watley had left in a hurry, it seems, or perhaps just vanished, because his belongings remained in the house when Dr. Langston bought it from the country. In one of the many assortments of the macabre collections was an old and dusty book called The Ebon Veil, written by a German sorcerer named Johannes Goetz. Inside this blood-stained grimoire was forbidden lore concerning the summoning and control of demons. Over the course of the year, Langston collected the components the book claimed he needed to call the Black Coachman. On Friday, October 29th, he was successful in this ritual, and the creature arrived at 13 minutes past midnight. Soon after, little Jimmy Peck, the ringleader of the teens who had vandalized Langston's house, was out at the hanging tree with his two rowdies planning their mischief for the Devil's Night just 2 nights away. From out of the darkness came the thunder of hooves and iron wheels, and the unearthly laugh of the coachman. The boys fled in all directions, but the coachman was too fast. The next morning, the comatose forms of Peck and 2 of his cronies laid sprawled along the prairie. Their relatives gathered the boys and took them to their homes. But the local sawbones couldn't explain their condition. The adventure obviously takes place in Wichita, Kansas. You guys have arrived at the Dead Horse Roadhouse on the outskirts of Wichita, the morning after the attack at the hanging tree. As you guys enter, Dr. Reg Palmer, the Sawbones from Wichita, has just come from the Peck House, and he asks you for help. You look like folks who've seen a little trouble and maybe figured out how to deal with it. Well, these folks out here have got some. If you're inclined to help, I've got three boys lying lifeless in their beds because of something that happened last night, something I can't rightly explain. Do any of you turn the man away?
Can't say I would turn them away at this kind of state.
I'm of course gonna help.
I'm curious about this unexplained thing you were talking about. Tell me more about it.
There's a group of kids who frankly ain't exactly pillars of earth around here, but don't deserve what happened to them just the same. Best I can tell you, they was meeting up at the old hanging tree when someone attacked him. Whatever it was chased them in all directions, but none of them got very far. The Pony Express rider found them all face down in the grass this morning as he was riding through. They're all alive, but in a kind of coma or something. Never seen anything like it. Nothing at all. And I was at the Battle of Washington, in the cauldron. They're all pale and cold, like they've had the life sucked right out of them, but ain't dead yet. I have little doubt they will be soon, though, if I can't get to the bottom of this. Will you help?
Where are these kids?
Could I see these kids? I would like to examine them. Maybe there's something on their body, on their persons that could tell me what has done this to them. I'm something of a scientist.
Sure, why not? And he guides you over to them. You go over to, let's see. You go to the Peck's place. Okay, and he takes you along. Who among you follows the doctor
I'm
to
going.
Peck's place?
I'm not a doctor.
I'm
I'm a
going.
professor. Professor Pentecost.
The doctor is leading you.
Oh,
Father,
I see what you mean.
I will follow.
I follow
I'm
to see
going.
them as well.
What about you, Eston?
I'm gonna wander off and on my own.
Okay. So, first things first, before we go examine these kids, I'm going to deal one card to everyone. Besides me, of course. Well, something I want to do and get some little backstory about your characters. So, Brian, is your card a club, spade, heart, or diamond?
Let me check and see.
I can't see mine, so
My card is a diamond.
Okay. So, you're gonna tell a story about desire. Tell a tale about something your hero wants or already has. It might be a material possession, recognition, a political goal, or even a trip he wishes to take to some amazing destination.
I suppose right now my greatest desire would be maybe to have my own device to find ghost rock, because I use it in a lot of my inventions, and it would be useful to be able to find it on my own rather than have to go and spend a vast amount of money on a ghost rock from one of the shops that happens to sell ghost rock. It is very useful, and I really desperately want to find or want to make a ghost rock detecting device.
Fair enough. Wesley, what is your card for
I
Nanook?
have a heart.
Heart. Love. Speak fondly of the character's greatest love, lost, found, or waiting for him back home. What is her name? His name? Where does he live? Why is the traveler not with them now?
God damn it! I didn't have a love interest prepared. Can you skip to someone else while I think of this?
Okay. Point is, you're just supposed to come up with a story. If I like it enough, I'll give you a Benny.
I know, but I didn't. suspect love interest.
That's the point. It's a random card draw.
Off the cuff. Think quick on your feet.
Exactly.
Alright. Um, so
You're a woman.
there is my love, the daughter of the chief of a small tribe in the southern part of Dakota. She it has dark hair, very long. Um, her name is Farina.
Marina. All right.
Um,
And why isn't she traveling with you now?
being the chief's daughter, she has much to do to keep the tribe at peace. Meanwhile, I am going off to try and get the land back to its original state due to the spirit's restlessness.
All right. Father Lionel, you can't see your card currently, right?
No.
I'll drag a card. You got a spade.
Okay.
Victory. Tell the group about a great victory or personal triumph in your adventurer's past. How did it affect him afterward? Was there a reward?
In my adventurer's past, he is quite old. He was around during the Spanish conquest of the Mayans, and he actually got some of the gold. And his triumph was he survived, and for some reason he wasn't cursed as bad as other people. But he did, however, lose his faith, and his triumph wasn't the gold, but him selling the gold, just for a Bible that he carries with him everywhere he goes. And his triumph is staying alive, not being cursed, and having the Bible still.
All right. Okay. Natalie or Cassie, what is your card?
Club.
Club. Tragedy. Describe a tale of tragedy or misfortune from your hero's past, featuring one of your hindrances, if possible. If the teller has a dark secret of some kind, strongly hint at it. Drop clues, or otherwise give the rest of the group a glimpse into your hero's dark side during your narrative.
My character Cassie. She has been a priestess for as long as she can remember. Um, Giving her worship and praise to the gods in Egypt, where she came from. Um, she's very stubborn and stayed at the temples long after people had stopped coming to visit them because that's what she'd always done. She just wasn't willing to just give up until she finally received a vision leading her away where she found love again and new life. But new life, I'm doing tragedy, right?
Yes.
This new life had to end. And that is how she is, where she is, and who she is with now. Because life must end to carry on.
All right. Eston Hunt or Sable Hawk, what is your, or Chance, what is your card?
Do you want to know the number or just the suit?
The suit.
Diamond.
Diamond. Desire. Tell a tale about something your hero wants or already has. It might be a material possession, recognition, a political goal, or even a trip he wishes to take to some amazing destination.
Hmm. All right. Well, a little bit of a story first. When Eston was younger, when he actually first started becoming a monster hunter and everything, he was around 19 years old. He was actually able to see how people were possessed and everything. And when he went to New York City for the first time, he actually saw one of the senators there. And when he first laid eyes on him, he realized that the man was possessed. And he spoke to a few other people concerning of like the easiest way to deal with it. However, there was nothing he could do except put a bullet in his head because of how far gone he was possessed. The agency found out exactly what had happened. Framed, like he wasn't framed, but they put a bounty on his head for around $5,000. And so he's been on the run ever since. And so to conclude with his desire, the entire time he's been trying to find the agency headquarters so he could finally clear his name in a sense.
Hmm. And so your desire was what?
To clear his name.
Okay. Clear your name. Okay. So let me do this. Nah. You'll get a white Benny.
Yeah.
You'll get a white Benny. You will get red bennies. And you also get a white Benny. There we go. Okay. Now we know a little bit more about our heroes. I'm going to recall all these cards. I'm going to shuffle. Okay. Now. You guys head to Peck's place. Or Little Jimmy Peck. What you might call ironic, anyway. So you head up there. This kid is as big as a house. Okay. And his father, Big Jim Peck, is even larger. Okay.
Gluttony's a sin.
The doctor tells you that Big Jim Peck used to be a hired gun for the Black River in the Rail Wars. And is very, very angry since losing his work. Even angrier that his son's in a coma. Okay. He also tells you that Big Jim thinks Little Jim was cursed by his former lover, Jezebel Harkin, because he hasn't seen her since she caught him with one of the doves in Wichita. But he says that he's said she was kind of a vengeful sort.
Well, I know about curses. So,
Okay. So you come into the house and you see the child lying on kind of like a fold out bed. Very, very large kid. And he looks as pale as a ghost.
more pale than I am.
Aside from being pale, is there anything else about his appearance that seems off?
Uh, no color in his lips. Uh, even his under his fingernails are uncolored.
Hmm.
Hmm. I want to go up and check his vitals.
Does somebody have like a knife or some kind of a needle type thing I can use for a second? Anybody?
No,
I immediately, as soon as he says no, I go into like the kitchen area and just look for like a sharp knife.
Okay. Is anyone going to ask Big Jim any questions?
no, I
I
don't care
will.
about him. He ain't in
Big, big,
trouble.
Big Jim, do you have a knife I can borrow for a minute?
It's like, what would you need a knife for?
I simply wish to uh, prick your son's finger to check his blood to see if it looks unusual in any way. Maybe there's something that has infected him that has caused this.
It's like, hmm. And then the doctor's like, I have a scalpel over here.
Could I use that for a second, doctor?
It's like, you may.
Thank you. And I go to, I guess before I prick his finger just to like sterilize it, I go to like a candle or whatever and stick it through the flame a bit. And then I go over and just kind of prick his finger with the tip of the scalpel.
Okay. So you prick his finger and the blood comes out normal. Just fine.
Hmm.
All right. Big Jim, was it?
It's like, that's my name.
Can you tell me everything that this boy has done recently? Anything that might get him in trouble with someone?
Uh, like, well, I reckon there's a lot of folks around here didn't take so well to my boy. He's always a rough sort. Takes after me, I guess. But he ain't done nothing of late. I was working some discipline in him so he could maybe get some work with Dixie Rails. Used to work for Black River till they moved on the west. It's good pay, but fella's got to be ready to get his hands dirty if you know what I mean.
So, anyone specific you think might have done something to him?
Like I said, that list could be very large.
Do you think this was done by someone who has a grudge against him, or maybe someone who might have wanted to punish you?
It's like, I don't know anyone that would want to punish me.
Hmm. Are the boy's eyes opened or closed right now?
His eyes are closed.
Okay, I'm gonna go over and I'm gonna like pull open his eyelids and look at his eyeballs.
Okay. And what do you do when you pull open his eyeballs?
I just examine them to see if they're like, if there's cataracts or if there's anything unusual about his eyes.
His. Go ahead and roll notice.
Notice. Where's uh, I rolled a d6 on my wild die, or a 6 on my wild die.
You roll it again.
I rolled a 5 that time.
You notice very faintly that there are small lines in his iris that look like this.
That triangle shape thing.
Hold on. So that's kind of what you see, but it's very faint in his eyes.
Okay. I I like start looking around for like a piece of paper and some kind of writing implement so I can draw it out real quick on a piece of paper. Like I don't say anything to anyone. I'm just like immediately looking for something, some way to draw it.
Just reading my Bible in Spanish
Okay.
for this
And
kid.
got 17.
Also,
Is that both dies added together, Tracy?
No, that's I rolled an 8 and I have a +2, and 8 is my crit, so I rolled it again and I got a 7. So 8 + 2 + 7 is 17. Unless there's a negative on the roll that you didn't tell me about,
No.
then it would obviously be negative. Oh,
I was
okay.
just making sure.
Yeah. I rolled a 4 on my wild dice, if that helps.
No.
Dang it.
So you're reading from your.
My Spanish Bible, yes.
Okay. Hold on.
I have a cool question. In the typing chat, how do you do the thing where it's speaking in character and it has like the
Slash
order
EM.
Yeah,
slash
slash
what?
me. Slash me.
Slash EM.
Space.
Or slash ME or EM.
Okay,
Either one.
thank you.
EM doesn't do anything. Oh, maybe it does. That's
It
weird.
does. That's what I've always done.
Fair enough.
So slash me does
Okay.
that. So you start doing this, Father Lionel, and the boy starts shaking on the bed.
Would
Do,
this seem like possession?
N-
Or
no.
what would it seem like?
Uh, a, s- a supernatural induced coma,
Hmm.
but not
Hmm.
possession.
Would I know how to fix this?
Um, roll roll knowledge.
What would that be?
Do you not have knowledge?
I can't check my sheet.
I have knowledge arcane. Or
Check. Do you
No,
have
actually, it's
he
knowledge
knowledge?
does
med
not have.
science.
You do
He
not
doesn't
have
have any.
knowledge.
I have
So roll
smarts.
smarts.
And that's
Oh
a
no, I
D6
take
for
that
me.
back. I have knowledge
Correct.
I have knowledge chemistry and med sciences. Whole other thing. Do I find something to draw
Yes, you do.
the symbol? Okay.
6 plus 3 is 9. I get 9. A 9 and a 3.
As soon as I finish drawing the symbol, I flip the page around and show it to the doctor and the father of the boy. And I'm like, do either of you know what this symbol is? Have you seen it before? In fact, have any of you seen it before? And I show it to whoever else is
I'm
still in
too
the
busy
room.
chanting.
Okay, I don't show it to the priest because he's busy, but I show it to whoever else is in the room paying attention.
What did you roll total, Tracy?
I rolled a 9 for my regular dice and a 3 for my wild dice.
Let me check my raise calculator. 9. Okay, so that is 2 raises. Cool. So you know that to fix this, you would need to that the boy is separated from his body. He doesn't have a soul, and you'd need to find the soul.
I'm like, I stop chanting. I'm going to close my book and be like, okay, we need to find his soul.
Yes, I know.
Well,
That's
of
why I
course
need
you
to
know.
go.
I was talking to everyone else, love.
That's why we
Uh,
need to go where they were
d-
found
d-
at.
does anybody recognize this symbol? And I'm showing everyone the picture of the double triangles.
I'll look at it.
Yes.
This
Cassie and Father Lionel, you would both know this as uh, a mark of the devil.
Like, that's the mark of a devil, boy.
it's in his
Just
eyes.
one of his many.
It is in the boy's eyes.
Well,
Soul is trapped in a box near where he was. This happened
What makes you say that?
because I saw him standing outside of his body, screaming, trapped.
I can confirm my wife is never wrong.
I kind of, when the priest says that, I kind of look at him with a look of like, I doubt you're right about that. And then I immediately turn. I'm like, well, in that case, we should probably go to where the boy was found and look around there and see if we can find some clues.
All right. Meanwhile, going over to Eston Hunt. So, where did you wander off to from the Dead Horse Roadhouse? You can go facing from the door. You can take a left back down the dirt road past the hanging tree, where the pond is, or you can go right into town to Turnpin's place, McDowell's place, Peck's place, or some of the shops down there.
I'm gonna make a left, go to the pond and the hanging tree.
So you go down to the hanging tree. Okay. So you arrive at the hanging tree. There are still imprints from where the kids fell. Uh, let's see. Go ahead and roll. Hmm. Just roll me smarts. See if you got this information. Or streetwise, if you're trained in streetwise. If you got this information.
Yeah, I'm trained. Okay. Ugh. Oh. I don't know.
10. Hot damn. All right. So you would know that the old tree was used to hang a horse rustler once. No one knows what his name was, and that he was left to rot until animals finally dragged his corpse down and devoured the remains. Most all the locals know the legend, if asked anyway. Um, Go ahead and roll tracking if you have it, if you're trained in it.
I'm not trained in tracking.
Okay, so all you see is that the grass is disturbed around the tree. There are numerous cuts in the bark, and they bleed red sap from the boys. And you see there's a throwing knife in it. It's unnaturally quiet around you.
Okay.
Um, there are numerous tracks around it from people riding past it all the time, from either going towards the Wadley House or to Wichita or into town.
Okay.
So make a tracking check if you're trying to investigate further.
I'm trained to investigate, but not in tracking.
Gonna need tracking.
Oh, well, I'm just standing there, just not doing nothing. Oh, no, I technically can use tracking because of my gifted
You can.
power.
Are you gonna do that?
Yes, I am.
All right.
So would it be treated as a D6 then, for the time being of using it?
Let me read your gifted power. Do. Gifted. 2 points. No, it's still a D4.
Okay. But I can use it without doing the penalty?
Yes. So click it as trained and then just roll it.
Okay.
And then you gotta click it as untrained afterwards. All right. So how exactly do you cast this power on yourself?
I'm just gonna put my hand. I'm gonna put my hand up next to my face and just whisper something in Latin, and then I'm gonna start feeling the ground, and you're gonna see the ground glowing and shit.
All right. So what you see, you discern that there are heavy hoof prints and wagon tracks in a zigzagging pattern through the grass. Let's see. Is that a raise? No. Okay. So yeah, you see that there is heavy hoof prints and wagon tracks in a zigzagging pattern through the grass.
Okay.
The other thing is you notice that there are no traces of blood or any other physical evidence. I mean, you still can't discern where the boys fell, but there are no traces of blood for some reason.
Okay. Can I investigate the red sap and the throwing knife?
Sure.
Okay.
So the throwing knife is it's a stiletto knife, a boot stiletto knife, and the red sap is very thick, almost unnaturally thick from this tree. Are you gonna taste the sap?
Sure.
Surprisingly, it's not sweet and it doesn't give a pungent smell. It tastes almost iron like.
Can I try to break in the bark to see exactly how much sap there is?
Sure. Go ahead and use your knife.
Would that be
Fighting.
Fighting?
Yes. Unless you're going to punch the tree, which I
Five.
recommend, but
Nothing happens.
So you dig into it and it just bleeds a little more of the sap.
Hmm.
But it doesn't give any smell and it tastes iron like. It's got a really red hue to it, almost scarlet color.
Is there anything else to notice around this tree, just besides the tracks and that?
I don't know, is there?
I'm asking you, you're the DM. Um, hmm. I'm just gonna head back to the cabin when everyone else is.
So you're going to head to the Peck's place?
Yeah, I'm just gonna head back.
So right around the time everyone's about to leave, you open the door and you see the other investigator that you guys were sent with, Eston Hunt. He's about 20 paces in front of you guys. Do you tell them the information that you would learn, Eston?
Yeah, I do. I'm gonna tell him.
Well, go ahead and tell them.
Took a left and went down to the hanging tree, and there's some unusually red sap coming from the tree.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We discovered some unusual things too, some very unusual things. Like this symbol, and I show him the piece of paper with the symbol on it. According to the preacher here, it's the symbol of the devil, and he also said that the boy's soul had been taken, and his wife says that the boy's soul is somewhere near where they were found. So we're gonna go. We're heading there to look for clues.
Sap in the tree, you say?
Yeah, it tasted like iron.
blood.
Mm.
Blood in the tree.
Blood in the tree. How
Well, would
would
you lead us
blood...
to this tree?
Yeah, sure. Let's go.
Thank you. I'm following.
I look at Cassie. I'm like, do you think the boy's soul could be in the tree?
It's very possible.
Boxes
make
are
an
made of
excellent-
wood.
It'd make an excellent cage. I remember this one time, back in Egypt, we locked somebody in a bush. Dreadful event.
Would a tree be able to hold more than one boy's soul? Because maybe that's where all the victims' souls are at.
It's entirely possible. It all depends on who took them and how and why.
Also, do you happen to know how to restore a soul to a body? That would be very fascinating to witness.
There are ways to bring about life from death.
How fascinating!
If you have faith
I
in
would love to
God,
witness
anything
this.
is possible.
Well, I don't know
Yes,
about
faith does great things.
I don't know about that, but I believe in science, and this sounds very fascinating from a scientific standpoint.
Science.
So you head to the tree.
Don't knock my my beliefs, you dirty redskin.
Hey, we are all children of God. You want to treat each other equally.
Again,
So
I believe in science.
you're all at the tree. Who does what? We'll start with Cassie. What do you do first?
She's going to walk up by where he said that there was the red blood and place her hand on the tree and try to draw out visions, understanding, knowledge, anything to help in the situation.
Very well.
She's not giving much.
Yeah, you're not getting much in the way of communication. Uh, a so as you do this, a raven lands on one of the dead limbs, and you look at it, and it has three eyes, and it caws, and it starts to peck at the tree, and it oozes red sap. It takes a little, and then it flies away.
Follow the bird.
Okay. So the bird lands on the ground and it starts prancing around, pecking at the ground.
And to investigate where it's pecking.
And it's about 50 yards away. Do you have tracking?
I do not. Not very good at it, at least, I should say.
Maybe the engine does.
I have tracking, but I mean, it's her vision.
She didn't get a vision. She's moving
Oh.
around about right in front of you.
Yeah, she's
Well, that's fine.
following a bird that actually was there.
Wait,
So,
that motherfucker has three eyes? Rip. Satan bird.
so, what about you, Father Lionel, and Professor Arthur and Nanook? What
Professor
are you all doing?
Pentecost.
I'm gonna search around for the tracks he mentioned.
I'm gonna go up and swipe like with my finger like a little bit of the sap and then lick it to taste it.
Tastes like iron, but you'd be able to identify it as zinc, being a scientist.
Interesting. And then I'm gonna try and see if I can pull away some of the bark to see Yeah, like the inner part of the tree.
So, Cassie, as you walk over to this and you start investigating the ground where it's pecking, uh, you do something minuscule, like pick up some of the dirt, kind of crush it in your fingers, maybe investigating the dirt. The bird caws in your face and just flies straight up and vanishes in a dark cloud. Go ahead and roll. How are you taking the bark off the tree? First off, are you just using your fingers and pulling bark?
That's initially what I'm going to try and do is just use my try and get my fingers in behind the bark and just kind of pull a piece of it off.
Find a weak
Uh,
point.
roll strength, please.
What'd you say, Tracy?
Just try to find a weak point where it just falls off. That'd be the dream.
True.
It's a pretty smooth tree from the outside.
All right,
So-
then never
My
mind.
strength
Have to find a crack.
sucks.
So roll strength.
Oh, that's balls.
That one though.
Yeah.
So
That's
Breaks
balls.
all of his fingers.
you go to you put your fingers in one of these cracks from one of the knives where they threw and it's kind of split over and
Mhm.
over. And you go to pull and one of your nails comes off
Oh,
Ooh.
and your finger bleeds profusely.
I'm
You
just
know,
standing there like holding my hand like ow ow.
doing what a person normally does.
Ah.
You're like, well, you kind of like put your finger in your mouth to stop the bleeding, right?
No, I pull
And-
out my handkerchief and just like wrap it around my finger.
Okay, so you wrap your finger, it's bleeding, it turns red, and then it kind of stops, and it burns extremely. But from the blood that you see that you have, it goes into part of the tree, and the sap gets thicker.
Like I see my blood get sucked, like pulled into the tree.
Yes,
vampire tree. Oh my god, brother.
but no one else sees this, only you.
Preacher, come here for a second.
Child? I'm gonna walk over.
Have you ever heard of a tree that can drink blood?
Not particularly, no, but
Because
I
this
can always
tree,
ask about it.
this tree, when I was trying to pull the bark off to look at the inside of the tree, I ripped off a fingernail and was bleeding,
Oh.
and it drank the blood from my finger that got on the tree. It drank it. It
I
was
mean,
So,
trees have
Eston-
spirits too.
Eston, as they're having this conversation, you're kind of standing behind them a little bit, about 5 paces.
Okay.
Uh, you see that he's got a handkerchief, and you hear what's going on. What do you do? And Nonok, you're not too far away either. You're about another 5 paces away from Eston.
I'm busy gathering stuff for a fire.
All right.
As they're doing that, I'm gonna do I hear everything he's saying, or they're just like muttering?
I'm
No,
talking out
you
loud.
hear
I'm
him-
not muttering.
Yeah, you hear him
I mean,
pretty clearly talking.
My guy clearly speaks with a stutter.
as
but-
like I said, it's unnaturally quiet, almost supernatural near this tree. Like even when it's raining about 100 yards away, there's no rain falling here. And the rain around is silent.
Hmm. I guess I'm gonna walk up to the professor and the father, and I'm just gonna say, I'm just gonna say, so if we disturb this tree, will anything tremendously bad happen in a sense?
It's possible. Trees have spirits too, you know.
I know,
So-
but
I don't know
what
about
the
that whole-
souls,
that-
the souls of
that-
the children with?
From this, I would like Pentecost to roll a spirit check, please.
I
Not
can-
get freaked out by the tree.
me and my cowardice.
Don't freak out in my face. I'd appreciate it.
Oh,
Ah,
Do those counterbalance each other?
Interesting.
Since you rolled it on your initial die and not your wild die,
No.
Doesn't he roll that 6 again though?
no,
Oh.
No, I
because
rolled that
a
nat
1 on your initial die
Is crit fail.
is a crit fail.
Okay.
While if it was on the wild die, it wouldn't have been a crit
It wouldn't
fail.
matter.
So
Unless
my
it was
guy is
shooting.
fucking terrified, right?
You're pretty terrified of this tree.
Makes
Although,
sense, my
lucky
guy's a
for
coward.
you, I only rolled a 1 on my d20. So
Whew.
that is good for you. You're not going to go insane and your heart's not going to explode.
My character's already kind of insane, but still.
Okay. So from this, you get sort of an adrenaline surge. So you get +2 to trait tests and damage rolls on your single next action.
Punch
Okay.
the tree as hard as you can. See what happens. No, I'm kidding.
Breaks his
I
hand.
wanna.
Anyway.
I
So he's
wanna.
kind of jittery right now.
I'm gonna pat his shoulder and try and calm
I'm
him down.
sweating a little and just like,
I'm gonna go find Cassie.
Yeah, it's almost from the feeling like a jump scare. You get that and your adrenaline kicks in for a second.
okay, once I've kind of calmed myself down a little, I'm gonna go to did the doctor or the father
He
come with
went
us?
back to the roadhouse.
Who did?
Okay.
The doctor.
So he just took
Oh.
us to the tree, to where the tree was, and then left.
No, he didn't take
Yeah,
us.
he went down to the roadhouse.
Um.
He needed a drink.
Okay. And
Hunt was the one who brought us here.
Yeah.
who?
Hunt.
Oh,
Chance.
Chance's character. Okay.
Yeah.
Aston.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I brought him there.
He
Yeah.
you can see it clearly like after you guys get around the corner. From the Peck's place near the roadhouse, he pointed you guys in that direction. He was just like that way. Eston already was like leading you guys there. He just left, so
I wanna.
Okay. As a result of my character now being kind of scared of that tree and stuff, I'm going to go. I guess I'm going to go back to the Peck's house, and because I want to talk to
not the roadhouse. Who are you gonna talk to at the Peck's house?
the father of the kid.
Okay.
I want to ask him about the tree.
All right. It'll take you a little while to get there.
Well, actually, which is closer, the Peck's house?
Roadhouse.
I'll go to the roadhouse then.
Okay. So, what are Father Lionel and Eston doing?
I
I
was
wanna-
gonna go find Cassie.
Okay.
I was gonna pray in front of the tree for an answer.
So, Father Lionel, go ahead and roll your faith real quick
Okay.
before they have an interaction.
An 8 on my D8 and a 1 on my wild die. You want me to roll the D8 again?
Yes.
Okay, so that's a 10 plus 7 is 17. Again.
All right. So, you do this, and are you praying with your eyes closed or open?
Closed, head down.
So, you see in this vision almost like you can see through your eyelids type thing. They're incorporeal, I'll say. And there's this little flame that starts right down at your knees. Do you stare at it?
Yes, even though I'm not afraid of fire, but fire's bad for me. But yeah,
So
I'll stare at it.
it's almost like a pink flame. And it starts to trail to your right. Do
I'm
you
gonna
follow it with
get
your
up.
eyes?
I'm gonna get up and follow it, head still down, following it.
Okay.
Still
So
praying.
you follow it, and it walks right over to where your wife is down on the ground, and it almost enlightens this body shape. And then you get it's a very large person, and their body
Okay.
shape in the grass. But it's very, very slight, and as it fades, you can barely see it in the grass. Something that only probably an expert in tracking would be able to find.
Okay.
And this is about 50 yards from the tree.
Okay.
And behind you, The flame goes back, and you see two other spots that are really close to the tree. Smaller, but person silhouettes in the grass.
Did the big one seem about the size of the boy?
Yes.
Because he was a big boy. Okay. So that's where they were. Does the flame go into the tree or
It just fades from there.
just fades? I'm like, okay, I know where the three bodies were. Hmm. It's very possible. Hmm. What do you think we should do, Cassie?
Do we know of any tunnels around here?
I have no clue. I've only talked to the father and the doctor.
I got a shovel. We can start digging.
That's disrespectful.
Because I get a feeling that
What kind of feeling?
Nanu,
Yes.
Why can't I get rid of that?
how do you feel about us digging? It's a gut feeling, Rast.
I have no issues with it.
Aha.
It will not harm the earth for us to dig to find the
The
source
earth,
of evils.
the earth is there to give to us. What you find in it is yours to continue your life, so to say. If you can find a way to help the boys down there, there is no problem.
Well, I know the three spots. If we're going to dig, I know where we should start.
Well, you guys can dig. Meanwhile, I will consult the spirits on what to do.
Very
We
well.
need shovels.
I got a shovel.
Good. Dig here.
So, do you dig there, Eston?
Yes.
You start digging.
Yeah.
Roll me a strength check.
Okay. Right there.
I mean, technically, I don't get tired, so
Yeah.
never mind. Put the barrels through it.
So he digs about 8 feet down in the shape of this body. He finds. You'll find an old rusty silver pocket watch, but that's it.
I'm gonna grab the pocket watch and open it.
And the clock's broken. Seems like it's been here forever, basically. Probably about a 20-year-old pocket watch.
I'm gonna
Way
toss it up.
older than the boy.
I'm gonna toss it up at the father. I found this.
I'm gonna check it over. See
Just
if it
seems like a
has
pocket watch.
no purple, no pinkish flame.
Nope.
I'm gonna keep it anyway. It may be important.
So wait, he tossed it up to Father Lionel.
Yeah.
Uh,
Uh, Father Lionel,
yes,
are you wearing gloves?
yes, I'm wearing gloves. I always wear gloves. I use silver bullets.
Yeah. My character always wear gloves too.
Yeah,
Just
of
check.
course I wear gloves. I use silver bullets.
All right, so put it in your pocket.
Mm-hmm.
That's all you find down here. There seems to be no other physical evidence other
Okay. I'm
than the imprint.
gonna climb out.
I'll help you out.
Okay.
It's a 8-foot hole.
Okay.
So, Nonuk, you finally gathered all of the wood for your fire. Do you have any starting materials for your fire? Start it.
I just use the land, so I pick up a couple rocks and start striking them together.
All right. Go ahead and roll me smarts.
Oh.
It's gonna take some time. The damp rocks in the forest, since it's been raining, it's a little bit of a pain in the ass right now.
If you would like, I could help.
Very well.
Okay. So, I want to help him. And I want to do so by finding not damp rocks.
Okay.
I give
Notice.
him a match.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
she
you
got
hand him a match.
matches.
Yeah,
Wait,
I
you
have,
keep fire on you? I don't keep fire on you. That's bad.
dude, I have
I mean,
like 100 matches.
Yeah,
I
chance
don't need
that's
that.
like 2 boxes of 50.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he has dynamite.
So you
Which,
you hand him one of your matches.
yeah.
So you're like, I can't get it started instantly. Matches are in your face.
I kind of frown at her.
Matches are technically still using the land.
I know, but I'm not happy with the mass production of them. So I'm gonna pull one out and use it.
All right. So you strike it on one of the rocks, and you get that, and it lights. Put it down on the wood. Uh,
Put some
roll me
tinder
smarts
on it.
again.
Roll what?
Smarts again
Smarts.
with a plus
Should I
two.
roll since I'm helping?
+2.
Or no?
Sorry, +4.
Oh, I already rolled it.
Okay, so even
How
with
did
a
I get?
plus,
Wait. I rolled 2 5s. How did I get a 0?
because you put ++2. The thing got
Oops.
confused. Instead of just 2.
Sorry.
Uh, so technically that's a 7, 8, 9. Okay, so flame, just these pieces of tinder just ignite almost instantly. What are you gonna do with your fire?
All right. First off, I'm gonna eat a piece of one of my peyote buttons, whatever they are.
All right, and what about you, Father Lionel? Are you backing up from the fire a little bit?
Uh, I ain't no bitch. I ain't scared of no fire. I ain't gonna let it get on me, but I ain't scared of no fire.
You're like almost face first in it.
Then I'm gonna back up real quick. If it's gonna get me, I ain't gonna let it get me. I ain't gonna.
All right, so you back up a little bit as the fire goes whoosh right in your face. All right, so you start chewing one of those. Now what, Nanook?
Right. So because of that, I'll get a plus to my next to this ritual. So I'm going to perform the contact spirit world summon lesser spirit.
Okay, go ahead and make your rolls here.
All right, let me
Don't
double
you be
check.
summoning no demons in my presence.
I can't summon the evil spirits. All right.
I've been around a long time. I don't want you to curse me.
Would you like me to summon them for you?
No,
Right,
let's
so
not
this
do
is
that.
a
What?
tribal medicine check. +1.
All right, so you succeed.
Alright, the caster calls forth the lesser spirit. He cannot summon Manituous, which are the bad spirits, and the caster cannot specify the type of spirit he wants to call upon unless he knows an individual spirit's true name. The marshal has a handy table on page 66 to determine which spirit answers the call.
I knew I needed this. I was already prepared and shit. Look at me, I'm like, bam, I'm awesome. Which page was it? 66?
Yep,
In the Marshal's Handbook?
that's what it says.
That ain't right.
It says the marshal has a handy table on page 66.
That ain't right. Hold on. Hold your. Hold on. Tables of Doom. Probably here somewhere. Yep. No, that's backfire table. That's dementia table. Yeah. 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 Hip. 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 Mad scientist. Harrowed. Uh, Last Son, page 4? Question mark. What? Page 66.
That's what it says. This is going to require a lot of editing.
No, no. This is what happens. RPGs.
Everyone just watches the tree burn.
And no, I did not summon a fire spirit.
How do you know? You don't
I
have
don't know
control
that
over it.
yet.
Yeah, you're right.
But
That'd be
there's
Oh.
a pretty low chance that it's going to be a spirit of fire.
That's a bitch, though. You have a really low chance of it. That's the one you're gonna get. Oh, God.
And I can't summon any evil spirits.
Okay, so your choices are. So the choice 1, 2, 3. Go ahead and roll a d6. What did you roll?
5.
So you summon a buffalo.
Buffalo.
Alright. Once the spirit arrives, the caster engages it in an opposed spirit test.
Wait. Wait, what?
I have to make an opposed spirit test against it.
Okay.
Oh god.
And it rolls an 83. Get wrecked.
6, 9.
As the caster fails, the spirit vanishes.
So this buffalo walks forward, and it comes from the flames, and like the flames use it to create this creation. And you're like, you have a stare down with it, and then it just vanishes. Wesley, just put it on your page because you can only summon 1, 2, 3, 4. You can only summon 5 of them.
Okay.
A wolf, eagle, bear, spider, and buffalo.
Okay.
Sorry, scorpion as well. So you can summon 6.
I tried to commune with the spirits, but Unfortunately, I failed.
Hmm. Maybe better
No.
luck next time. What are you doing? God,
Why do you want to burn the tree down?
I'm more worried about what Cass is rolling.
I don't know. Everyone's talking about burning down the tree, so I'm like, fuck it, I'll just burn down the tree.
Don't
So,
do that.
Cassie, why are you rolling Faith?
I was doing it on the watch in his pocket.
In Father Lionel's?
Since I was up right next to him, helping him calm down.
Okay. Are you touching the pocket watch?
Pocket with the watch in it.
Okay. Uh, what exactly knowledge and stuff are you seeking?
It's connected to what's happened.
It is not. You get a vision of a man on a stagecoach, and uh, it was a really bumpy ride, and it just happened to fall out of his pocket into the dirt as it was raining one day. Kind of like got smushed into the dirt.
Poor luck for the sad watch.
Well, the watch is purely money towards paying fees.
Uh, I guess you could say that. I mean, it's broken.
Unrelated though.
Alright. I would like to attempt another chance at trying to summon the spirits.
Okay.
Alright. Start this again. Tribal medicine to start
All
the
of us,
ritual.
all of us religious people are trying to contact our respected deities and spirits, and then the other people are just like, I don't know what to do.
Alright. 6 to start the ritual. Let's see. Number 5 again. So I tried to summon the buffalo back.
The buffalo comes back again, kind of staring at you blankly, blinking.
6 this time.
It rolled 2.
Alright, on a success, the spirit reveals its abilities, and the caster can demand 1 service from it.
Head. I mean, knowledge.
Well, what service do you seek?
I seek to find a way to cure the children of this curse.
You hear back in your head. Hold on. Defeat the scrap monster and banish the coachman.
Thank you, O great spirit.
Do you release it?
I had no choice. I can only demand the 1 service.
Oh, then it fades again.
Alright. So I'm going to turn to everyone and I look at them all. I have found the way to cure the children.
And that is?
According to the spirits, we must destroy a scrap beast and defeat the coachman.
Hmm. Can I roll a not a smart to know what the coachman is? Or
Sure. Actually, you'd need knowledge occult.
oh, I wouldn't have
So-
that as a priest.
Uh, And you don't have that skill, I believe.
I mean, the only skill you told me to take was faith. So
Yep. So roll a d4 plus a d6 minus 2.
okay.
Wouldn't a priest know about the occult? Because the occult's about like fucking demons and shit. And a priest would know
Yeah.
about
Just
that
because
if.
they know about that demons exist doesn't mean they know what demons are or
Okay,
heard their
in
names.
addition to that, Tracy does fight monsters and demons and stuff.
But
He may
evidently
have
he didn't
never.
study up.
He may
I
have
mean, he
never.
never told me to take the skill, so
I
let's not argue
understand
about it.
He may have
from
never encountered the coachman.
That's
6
true.
minus 2 is 4. And then I have 3 minus 2 is 1. So do you want me to reroll the 6 on my wild die or
Yep.
what? Okay. Another 4. So 8 in total. Unless the negative 2 goes to that one as well.
It applies to that as well.
Okay, then 2. So 6 in all.
So, you've only heard of the coachman.
As
Hold on. Uh, he is a demon that rides a black coach with 4 horses and a reaper scythe and a sort of pumpkin head.
I'm going to relay the news to the group that
And
the
he
coachman,
comes with hellhounds.
he comes with hellhounds. He rides a coach with 4 horses. He's a demon. He uses a scythe. Apparently, scrap. I'm guessing.
You've never heard of this scrap monster.
I've never heard of this scrap monster, so I'm like, what could this scrap monster be?
It could always mean some infernal device.
Like. What are you thinking, Nanook?
I only know that there are many devices built to summon these horrific spirits.
I see. Wait, scientist man, aren't you one who makes devices?
I'm not
He
there.
went off.
Oh,
I went
yeah,
to
he
talk to
left.
the doctor.
I forgot. Whoops.
Perhaps we should head back. We can probably find out more from the doctor.
Possibly. Let's all go.
All right. So, Professor, you go to talk to the doctor. What do you say to him as he's sitting at the bar?
I sit down next to him, still a little shaken from being scared of the tree, being that my character is a congenital coward. And I say, Doctor, how long have you lived in this town?
It's like, oh, I lived here a while now.
What do you know about that tree, the old hanging tree?
It's like, well, I know legend about a cattle rustler be hung up on that tree. Other than that, uh, really not too much about it. It's been there for a long time.
Is there anybody in this town that might know more of the history of that tree? Because that tree is not a normal tree.
It's like, there is another doctor in town who might know something. I mean, he's a strange, eccentric fellow. His name is Cooper Wadley.
Do you know where I might be able to find him?
It's like, well, he's a strange man. He had 6 daughters with 3 different wives, so folks say. And he sent them all off for Mina Devlin's outfit. Since then, he's kind of disappeared, though. And then this fella from back east moving a few years later. Professor Herbert? Something like that? Langston. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Not sure what happened there. About a year ago, his house and some contraption he was working on got vandalized. Next thing you know, his daughter up and left. Strangest thing, because he doted on that child like she was the most important thing in the world.
So, where is this other doctor at?
He's up at the old Wadley house, right up around the corner. You go past the hanging tree, take a left up that side road.
Oh dear, the hanging tree again. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Actually, would you be willing to take me there? I don't want to get lost. I'm not really from around here, you know.
Well, I wouldn't want to trespass on his property, but I can walk you up to his gates. Sure.
That would be much appreciated. Thank you.
So he's stepping off the stools, and where is everyone else heading? You're heading back to the roadhouse.
Yep.
Yep, to see the doc.
You're going to look for the doctor.
So you guys come out, and the doc steps out on the deck of the saloon slash roadhouse area, and he's with the professor Pentecost. And he's like,
Wouldn't we actually be running into them up at the tree because they would still be like digging in the tree, like digging the hole and stuff?
you would be coming on the way back because it would have taken a while.
An 8-foot hole.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they
Yeah,
were
it
digging like
wouldn't
an
have
8-foot
taken that
hole.
long,
Plus, they
so
lit the
it would
fire
be-
and did the summoning thing, and I just
Wouldn't have
walked
taken
back
that
down
long.
a little
So-
ways.
It wouldn't have taken that long. So within 2 minutes, you guys are pretty close out there. Not too far away from the saloon. And he's walking with the doc. So, do you guys-
Just the men we wanted to see.
Me or the doctor?
Men usually means more than one.
Oh, my mistake. I thought you said man. What did you guys want to see us about?
Well, we wanted to see the doctor to see if he knew of some rather.
monster.
If he knew anything about a scrap beast as well as a coachman.
Scrap Beast and Coachman. I don't know what all that's about. If anyone knows anything about Scrap, though, it's got to be Professor Langston. Well, Dr. Langston, I would say. Up at the old Wadley house. I'm headed that way now, and I was taking this gentleman down there.
And you believe he might know something of this?
He very well might, if anyone else would, about a scrap monster.
You
I don't know
said
what
you
that's supposed to mean, but
you said you also wanted to see me. What did you want to see me about?
We'll talk about this later in private.
Oh, okay.
For now, let us see the good doctor.
all right. So he guides you up to the Wadley House gate area. He's like, go on in if you're going to go see him. I'm going to head back down to the roadhouse. And he heads down.
Okay. I guess we head to Professor Langston.
So, do you open the gate?
Yes.
Yep.
Makes a loud. As the gate opens.
When it makes that creaking sound, I don't like jump away startled, but I kind of like am visibly nervous by it. It kind of creeped me out a little.
So you go up to his house, and the front door, the boards are very creaky, loud. As your foot sets down, Each board goes.
I'm kind of visibly uncomfortable by this.
The windows are boarded as this house is almost painted in a black. The wood seems black for some reason, and the roofing is coming off. Uh, there's boarded up windows which seem to have no glass panes. The
As
door itself is made of iron and it's got chains around it.
as we're
And
like approaching the door, I just kind of say, does anyone else find this place a little unnerving?
even on the
I
front deck, there is. Well, when you go to look at the locking mechanism for the door, there's thin layer of cobwebs over it as if it hasn't been used for a long time, and the rocking chair on the front has been smashed, and uh, on the inside it just smells awful from the windows, and there's also a the drapes are blackened with color, almost as if stained by something.
well, I want to pray for the spiritual protection of the group before I go in there.
How are you going to get in? It's locked.
Uh, Dude just said he opened the door, Heston. I'm guessing
Can't.
he'll probably just kick it in.
It's an iron door.
Oh, he has
Try
dynamite. It's
knocking on
fine.
it. Yeah, I'm actually kind of cowering behind Eston at the moment.
That means you're second in line.
There is no rug, Cassie.
Are my pots or such around
The
the?
windows are boarded, Eston.
Alright.
It looks very much abandoned.
Well, the
Alright.
obvious answer is to knock. If he's supposed to live here, he should be inside.
But
So
that's
I'm
no
gonna go
fun.
ahead and knock on the
Fine, I'll
door.
knock on the frickin' door.
The back, there's no back door. There's a backyard though, as if you come out the front and walk around through another gate. And as you're passing, you see to the left, Cassie, that there is a large gate made of almost sheet metal, and it's for a junkyard. And through some of the holes in the sheet metal, you can see another shack in there. Small, tiny. But the wood definitely looks fresher on this as you pass by. So, Eston, as you knock on the front door, there's just silence. Then a few seconds goes by, and spiders start to crawl out from holes in the floorboard by your feet.
I kind of jump backwards when I see the spiders.
I'm gonna look at the professor and be like, "What's wrong? You're afraid of a little insect?"
I'm just not comfortable with this whole situation right now.
Oh.
This house is very, very unnerving. Okay.
Okay, not making fun of you. Just asking.
And Cassie, as you get to the back and you see over this tiny little picket fence to the backyard, it's not even dead grass, it's dried dirt. Even though it's been raining, somehow the dirt right here is still dry and there's no protection over the top of the backyard. With slight clumps of dead weeds throughout the yard. All right, so you go to the junkyard door. Everyone to your left off the front of the deck, you see Cassie at the junkyard door. And there's a large gate, and it seems to be open.
I'll follow her.
Seems to be the only place to go, since we can't get into the actual house.
Yeah, I follow the rest of the group. There's no way I'm gonna let myself be like alone right now.
Okay. Let's see. Mm-hmm.
So what's this huge shot?
Why is nothing happening?
Because I'm looking over something.
Oh, okay.
How to murder us all?
No, I'm getting an idea of the character personality. So you push open the door and you follow this alley of rail cars, rail car debris, and Tracy. Okay, so you come to uh, as you're following this debris, you come down to what seems to be an automaton-looking thing, uh, almost like a barrel with a very large, almost Western knight helmet, a bucket helmet, and it's got a smokestack on its shoulder. It's got long arms, which seem to be using uh, steam rotating engines on its wrists. And it seems its chest is almost, it's not a barrel, but made out of like a piece of boiler. And it's sitting there and it's rocking back and forth. And you see under the chair is a man with glasses. Well, part of a man with glasses, very withered beard, partially bald, and keeps rocking over the man. And he's almost decayed, so there's a bit of flesh left on his face. His mouth is open. His teeth are very yellow.
Does he still have eyelids?
He does not. And you see that there are two marks from this rocking chair, one on his lower spine, and one near the top of his spine is this where this thing kept rocking back and forth.
I'm gonna go over and make prayers to Osiris to gain the knowledge that this man may have had in regards to what we're searching for.
So you go towards this thing rocking over this man and make a prayer. So as you approach it, and how do you prepare yourself for a prayer?
Um, I will press a few of my trinkets that I have, onks, my scarab, the ties to the end of the world.
Okay. As you get closer to the body, it starts to sit up out of the chair, almost as if it's leaning forward. Do you continue on anyway?
I may slow a little just to make sure that it's not going to attack me.
So you slow down, but still approaching. Takes 1 foot out as you get closer, and it starts to almost get up out of the chair.
Be calm.
You say that as you
Be at
get closer.
rest. Yes.
It gets up out of the chair and starts to walk towards you.
With one leg.
No, it steps on its one leg and then uses its other leg to walk forward. Has 2 legs.
Oh, it has both of them. Okay. Does it look to be coming forward in an aggressive manner?
Very.
I
Let's
ready
see.
my bow and arrow.
I place
I
my
pull out
hand
my
over my
rifle.
whip.
Jeez, that was loud.
Sorry.
I place my hand over my whip and say, "We come meaning you no harm. Be calm."
You hear its engine in its chest start to grumble. And smoke starts to spew from the smokestack on its back. Initiative.
Normally, in this type of situation, my character would be running for the hills, but he's so fascinated by this machine that he's just like basically just totally stuck with just like in awe of it, just staring at it, like writing down notes about anything he can gain, any like thing he's able to glean from its workings.
Also, you're the only one who can deal initiative.
I know. I was copying your pictures. Background stuff. Jesus. That's hide. Okay. What the fuck? That's a good placeholder for it. It's creepy. It'll work.
Is that
God.
Hugo?
I don't know. Chance, you have to drag your picture on because I can't drag your picture.
Why can't you drag Chance's picture?
Because it won't let me.
Oh.
Okay. And while we're at that, recycle recording.